Oh, hi. This week, we can kind of call this a gift guide if you want, and also just, hi, I want to show you some cool things I have added to my artillery. We're gonna talk measuring tools. Now, there are some that I've thought about getting, but I don't know how practical they would be compared to things that I have access to already. So let me know your thoughts on like those measuring tools that are the wheelie roller things where, like, say you have a curved pattern line you want to follow but you don't know how many inches the curve is, so you kind of like walk this rolling device along it and measure things that way. That's the one thing I've been like entertaining the idea of getting but haven't actually jumped the gun yet. The thing I did recently acquire for those types of non-straight lines is this a flexicurve. It's 2 feet long and then some. There's like some extra room on either end, and it can just go wherever. It can turn multiple axes, which is, I don't know how necessary that is, but you know, neat. One of the only times I've really needed something like this, well, I guess measuring hoods and making sure those are going to line up well with the neckline seam, and then sleeves, those are probably the most practical uses, but also for my Ramona Flowers bag, which I'm going to be doing an updated tutorial on one of these days. I did recently acquire some more material for it, so like it's in the pipeline. This way you can make a circle and then like actually figure out how long the thing is, or, you know, measure around it, mark where the measurement ends, and then, you know, continue along the curve if it's more than the 24 inches. But yeah, something that seems like it's going to be really helpful. I'm excited about this. Just trying to up my game, you know, that's a real goal of mine for 2020, is just to really focus on bettering my sewing skills. And I think things like this will help make certain techniques a little bit easier. I'm sure many of you have things like this for good cutting surfaces, but I do also use my big ass self-healing mats to measure things. Like say I'm making a zipper pouch and I want a 7x5 rectangle. I almost said square, but that's not how squares work. This is the easiest way to get it even. You know, mark up 5/7 or wherever, ignore all the paint marks. And then I'll take a quilting ruler like this bad boy, one of the clear ones. This is the one I use the most because it's long and not super duper wide, where some of the quilting block things are like a square this size and it's too much for me, where I like how it has a little bit of heft but it's still a manageable size. I could totally do with a longer one of these, but at the 2 or 3 inch wide mark. Now I do like the straight edge of having a plastic ruler like this on my cutting mat and cutting along that. But what is also helpful, and something I just picked up, it was like a quarter at Staples, but it's one of these regular wooden rulers which also has a bunch of holes in it, which is good for if you want to measure a circle. You like put something pointy in one of the holes and you swing it around, and you can put a pen or something in a further hole and you can make a perfect circle that way. But yeah, it has this like nice metal edge here, so if you're drawing you can get your pencil under that or right along it, and it's just it's a good edge to have. You know what is a measuring tool that would be handy that I don't know if exists is, I was mentioning using this to measure a circle, but it's hard to make like a perfect circle shape with this. And yes, there's that technique I just mentioned where you kind of swing a ruler or something around and make a circle that way. But if there was an expandable circular thing and it told you the measurement of how big the radius and or circumference of the circle was, but kept all the edges even if it was just a bunch of points that you could like then curve into a circle. Is this a thing? Am I dumb for not knowing this? In addition to straight rulers, the other like absolutely necessary and super handy and also super portable, which is a huge benefit. I carry a measuring tape like this in my purse pretty much all the time because you always need to measure stuff. I just switched out how I store my needle felting supplies and tucked the box away, and it fits perfectly on the shelf that it's on. But I fucked up the first time because I didn't measure before I went to the store, and the first box I got didn't fit at all. So then I measured everything here and then went back to the store the next day. I had my trusty measuring tape with me and measured it all out to make sure I did not burn myself twice. So it's that blue box right there next to my caboodle. I have to say, this was one of the first purchases I made for myself that made me feel like a real sewist. This and my first pair of left-handed fabric shears was like, oh, I am taking this a little more seriously and investing in myself. Even though this was only a couple dollars, these fucking things were like $50 and they hurt my hand. So thankfully someone gifted me these babies that have like the big handle. Oh, so, okay. I mentioned this on Twitter, and this is not measuring tool related, but when you are holding a pair of scissors, do you actively put pressure here? Because I understand that would make the blades like close as tight as possible to them, because sometimes there's a little bit of gapping. And that's fine and dandy for handles that have this support right here that's going to go against this part of your thumb. But I have been finding that these don't cut unless I'm pushing on them, but it doesn't have that chunk there, and it fucking kills me. I don't know if I'm just bad at scissors. These are the Ginger ones, but I don't know if it's just because it doesn't have that extra flange going on here, but you all probably know better than I do, so let me know your scissor thoughts. So anyway, back to actual measuring devices. In addition to these like proper, reusable, more durable, I don't know, dressmaking tapes, I feel like I always have this around my neck if I'm currently working on a project. But then also having little disposable paper ones. I've been watching a lot of Bernadette Banner videos, and she's always talking about getting the measuring tapes from IKEA, which is also brilliant that they have just paper measuring tapes, because who doesn't need a measuring tape when you're buying furniture? It very much makes sense. I always have a measuring tape with me, but it would be really great to like snag some of those next time I'm over there. And this is not something I have the extra funds to get myself right now, but Annika Victoria just posted a bunch of new merch over at the DFTBA online store, which stands for Don't Forget to Be Awesome if you are not a nerd fighter already. Do I not talk about that very much? Because that's like my favorite online fandom, and well, other than Harry Potter, but I guess that's kind of a little satellite of being a nerd fighter. There's a lot of crossover with Potter nerds. But yeah, Hank Green and Alan Lastufka, I always fuck it up, started a merch store for online creators so long ago. One of my favorite online creators is Annika Victoria, and she has a shop on there, but she has a canvas tote bag that has accurate measurements on the tote bag. Like, it has a ruler on it, which I think is so brilliant. Of course, if you like wash it in hot water and then dry it, it's probably gonna shrink, because that's what canvas does, but just don't do that. Oh, I haven't even shown you the best part. Oh my god, you guys. It's like the flexicurve is something I'm very excited to play with, and I get asked once in a while this time of year if I have suggestions for what to get a crafty person for a gift for the holidays. And yeah, this is the recent acquisition I treated myself to. But also, this is something that if you have a crafty person in your life that you want to make their life a little easier, and it's just the easiest surprise in the world. And I can't take credit for this at all, because it was something that we had at the costume shop I was at last year on like every surface, is you go and you get whatever brand of this masking tape that is a ruler, and then you put it on the surfaces you use to cut things. This is where I sit a lot, and if I just need to check a quick measurement, if I'm putting straps on a bag, I want to make sure they're both at the 7-inch mark. Like, I can just lay it right here. And yeah, it's the best thing in the world. I mean, I have so much more of this left, so I am going to put it on every surface possible. I think maybe doing it going along my doorway as well, because it would be nice to have a specific height thing. Now, yeah, it's going to restart after 12 inches every time, but you can just add the feet together if it's multiple lengths of 12. So yeah, I'm starting it right at the corner here, so that if I have something on the top, I can just look down at the edge and not have to account for any missing length up this way. And yeah, I'm just gonna bring the tape as far as it'll go. And if you want, you can mark like 1 foot mark, 2 foot mark, however many lengths you may have. And now I have like so much measuring room. I'm so excited. It's super handy. I used the measurement markings on the edge of the cutting tables at the costume shop for most of my measuring, so I'm really glad I finally thought to update my own sewing room with that. So my biggest and probably least expensive tip to give you guys a heads up about is something like this. And honestly, like, don't even worry about getting this particular type of tape, and just measure out and mark it on the edge of the person's thing. This is removable, and because it's basically decorative masking tape, so it's nice that it's not permanent, but you can also just mark masking tape, mark the inches, and yeah, do a even more DIY version of it for your own shop or for someone else's space. And yeah, I have to go get so much stuff together in such a short amount of time. I'm not super panic mode, because I know I can get it done, but I just don't have the, oh, let's hang out and chill and relax and make a thing together, where hopefully tomorrow I have plans to make Christmas gifts. There's one in particular I'm very excited about, and I think I'll be able to show it to you before Christmas actually happens, where the rest of them are gonna have to wait for obvious reasons. Oh, and I just found out I do not have to work at my part-time job tomorrow, so I am actually going to spend all day other than my post office run working on Christmas stuff. Ooh, that's exciting. And I'll film a bunch tomorrow. Not that you'll be seeing any of that till after tomorrow happens. It is days like today where I'm like, right, this is why I think I probably need to switch back to one video a week. Not that I feel like this is just a throwaway video. I think these are helpful things. I didn't know things like this existed until I saw someone else talk about it in a video, and that's why I got it in the first place. And then this measuring tape, masking tape thing broke my brain in the best way possible, as many things did at the costume shop. So yeah, I hope this was a little helpful for your own tool belt of sewing supplies, or if you have someone in your life that you want to get some fancy gifts for, you still got some time. All right, before I do that thing where I'm like, I'm gonna go, and then I don't go for another 5 minutes and just ramble endlessly, I'm actually going to go. I will see you all back here with another video on Saturday. If I'm able to get the one done that I want to get done, which I know I say things about videos that I want to do and then I don't actually get to do them, but this particular one, like, it has to be done for Christmas and I have stuff cut out. It's gonna be great. That's my only goal tomorrow, is to get that project done. So you should be seeing it Saturday. It'll be so fucking cute. It's gonna be cute and just weird, and I am pumped about the idea. We'll have a fun, weird time this weekend. I'll see you in a couple days, and thank you so much for hanging out. Just a little casual storage porn, you know.